And today we're going to be speaking once again with Alen Paul Silverrstieen. He is the CEO of Imagination Park Technologies. The stock symbol is IP on the CSE in Canada and IPNFF over the counter. Imagination Park Technologies is a featured presenter at Wall Street Reporter's next Superstock conferences. And these are the events where we feature companies which we believe have 10x upside potential. We've had some tremendous success in the recent months with some of our featured presenters. And let's find out if Imagination Park Technologies can be the next big winner. Okay. Alen, welcome back to the Wall Street Reporter CEO interview podcast.
Thank you very much for having me back, Jack. I appreciate it.
Alen, lots of developments since your last presentation at the Wall Street Reporter Next Superstock Conference last month, where great investor interest in the stock. What's happening with Imagination Park now? What are some of the new developments?
That's a good question as well, because as you're seeing in what's going on in the economy and the environment out there, augmented reality is actually starting to take hold in some interest now in some new areas as well as some of the existing. As we told you last time, Jack, we specialize taking augmented reality through the mobile phone, the ability to engage consumers, sports fans, people around the world using their mobile phones in a unique way. AR right now has a tremendous amount of interest in the market. I think the global market's estimated around 4 billion today, and Kenneth Research just said it's going to 150 billion in a few years. But what you're seeing now is with the canceling of events and other types of concerns with people out there in terms of gathering in large places, AR now has a new spot to engage fans, engage consumers uniquely through their mobile phone. So it gives you a way to build a community utilizing the phone, which everybody works with, lives with, and is always with them. So we've really moved forward again, not only just on addressing our existing target markets of sports, the live event area. Recently, as a matter of fact, we just completed the Milwaukee Auto Show, which was, they did an AR scavenger hunt, which ended up being quite successful. And as a matter of fact, I think you'll have the video posted at the end of this video as well of the experience. And it demonstrated once again that the ability to use the mobile phone to engage people is fun, exciting, but most importantly, it captures the data, the information that allows the company that is sponsoring the AR event or the opportunity to further engage them with future events and information and calls to action, which might drive revenue. So the auto show was a good one. But what we're looking at, we're seeing interest from brands. We're seeing interest in the musical artist area as well. As you know, previously, we just brought in a new board of director, Mike Tunnicliffe, former EVP of Universal Music Brands.
Sure.
So that is starting to open up a new area. Again, when you look at Coachella being canceled, how do artists engage with people, their fans, give them communication? Imagine having the artist drop right into your house through the phone and give you updates on a weekly basis, or give you an opportunity to interact and ask questions, or give you an opportunity to purchase limited merchandise. It becomes a great engagement method for people, for brands, and for companies. Certainly in today's economy, and as things change and we get past this virus situation, it'll ultimately grow further to allow those kind of engagement and call to action in a unique way beyond just social media where everyone's just posting and putting things up. This allows that two-way interaction opportunity. So it's exciting. From the perspective that AR at least is finding a home as we go forward today. We're also working with the Sacramento Kings and expect to launch their special new SDK integration with our platform in the next 30 days. And that's going to be exciting as well, although the season will potentially be over unless they make the playoffs. They're using it for further fan engagement, but also to build out the neighborhood around them, the retail stores, and help them along in terms of engagement and getting consumers interested and excited to see what's there.
It's interesting. I think this one thing we didn't mention at the start of the video, and we don't know, people are going to be watching this 3 years from now, but right now we have this the coronavirus situation happening, and obviously things are shut down. There's a lot of we're hearing the interview is very timely, and you're kind of in a timely space right now because we're getting a lot of investor interest in sort of in the AR, VR, remote working space. There is kind of a shift, I think now, and what some of the savvy investors, some of the institutions that we're talking to right now, they're saying that this is really going to change society forever because all of a sudden, once businesses or once they try the new technology, once they try AR, VR, remote, whatever it is, there's going to be a permanent shift to a lot of it. Even once things calm down, there's going to be a massive. This is basically going to drive this adoption. Sort of like if you recall what happened like after 9/11, all of a sudden there was interest in all sorts of security technology, biometrics, all those
Right.
things. And a week before the event, nobody cared. A month later, these businesses just exploded, and they're stronger than ever today. So I think that's why investors are starting to really pay attention to your space. Um, so
Yeah, and I would agree. You're seeing that from conferences or looking to set up virtual conferences, do things virtual, do things digitally, provide a different type of engagement online. But I think it's something, unfortunately, there is a big difference when it's face to face, but AR gives you that unique interaction that could certainly help build that community and further that relationship, which maybe previously people were seeing as, hey, that's a nice novelty, that's something new, it's kind
right.
of gamification. But I do think and agree with you that it's something that's going to become a permanent part of the fabric as this shift occurs to this very, very unfortunate and serious situation currently in the world.
So Alan, so for anybody watching this, they might be new to the story. Can you kind of give our audience kind of a recap of exactly what does
Absolutely.
Imagination Park do?
So Imagination Park originally started in the content space. We shifted a few years ago, realizing that the future of the world is digital interaction. And really, we honed in and focused on augmented reality, the ability to leverage a mobile phone to further engage, gamify, and really call to action for consumers with business. It's another digital social media tool for businesses, but at the next level, another level of engagement. So we really went hands down, all in on augmented reality and focused purely on building out this platform. We acquired a number of very valuable patents as well in the space of AR, really backing up our IP. We've applied for a couple of patents as well recently. So we're really looking to be the publishing website, the imaginear.com website, the focus on building AR engagement globally for anyone who wants to do it at an extraordinarily affordable price for small businesses who are getting greatly impacted by the current situation in the market today to drive consumer gamification or engagement, whether it be coupons or other reasons to come to the store and help local businesses, or with these events who are now going virtual, or brands who want to interact with consumers beyond just the TV or the internet, where I can point the phone running Imagine AR or using the mobile app of an existing brand, using our toolkit, our SDK, and then activating right off of the brand packaging to get some kind of engagement, some entertainment, some type of way to share socially that kind of engagement and possibly even go viral. So I think AR is finding its place. We're focusing on the mobile area of AR, leveraging mobile phones, which everybody's using on, depending on, and even more so in today's environment as we continue forward, to provide that extra level of engagement, information disbursement. You can get information out. You can get direct from, if it's a musical person or from maybe an official or even from, a sports person, direct to a person in their home. If you're watching a sports game on TV and you have your mobile phone up and running, and then a logo shows up and you can point your phone in it, up comes the opportunity to enter in a sweepstakes or learn more information from a player about him right there, or even have him pop up in your home while you're pointing your phone at the logo, and there he is full size. You could take a picture with him in your home. These are kind of the extra
Right.
engagement opportunities that augmented reality can offer today that don't exist in any other medium.
So what's the size of the market opportunity that you're going after?
Well, certainly when you look at all the market opportunities and what out there, each market, whether it's sports, which is billions and billions of dollars. It's digital advertising. They're enormous. These are enormous sectors that, as you said, are probably going to get impacted by what's going on today and possibly in the future. And where AR is going to find a home is the ability to become that next new digital platform, that next new interaction that allows people to take advantage in certain areas with a one-to-one relationship. So the opportunities, if when you look at the sports, which is multi billions, and you look at advertising, you look at marketing, you look at music. I mean, these are enormous marketplaces where AR is just beginning to scratch the surface and take a look at. So the growth opportunities we're extraordinarily optimistic on as we continue forward through the next 3 to 5 years.
It's interesting that you mentioned the sports market. So like you have some major customers in the sports industry, and I'm thinking now that you have this this coronavirus situation. You have some teams are playing without any basically just this empty stadiums. They're just no audience.
Right.
And this and with AR, people watching at home, which is the only way they could really watch. With with your technology, they're actually able to engage. Could you maybe give some examples of how this could kind of help the current situation?
Right. They can tell the story. Like even I think 3 days ago, San Jose, where the San Jose Sharks hockey team plays, they basically announced they had their first virus situation, and they announced that no more than 1,000 people at any gathering. So when you look at that, and the Ivy Leagues canceled their championship basketball as well, again due to crowds. I think sports is something that is very emotional. It's something people bond on, and everyone's very very tied to their teams and those relationships. So when they don't have the opportunity potentially to come there, and I think there will be a time where this will pass and people will go forward and sports will go back to where it's normal. But AR will give an opportunity to engage while people are at home, pointing at logos, dropping at certain locations, scavenger hunt opportunities. Imagine in the city you have scavenger hunts where people can collect things, whether it's off of websites, whether it's off of media, whether it's off of printed material, number of different avenues. It gives a way for people to have that secondary attachment to the team in a unique way. We actually work with the rugby team, the Houston Sabercats we've been working with, and actually last weekend, as this situation occurs with the virus, they actually set up where there are no more autographs with the players, but they set up AR stations throughout the field for people to take pictures with players, to have kind of gamification with their mascot, and give a way for the audience who's even there to engage, because again, the players were not allowed to interact direct with the audiences there. So it's unique, and we hope to have actually a video out of that use case in the very near future. So that was a way that a team looked at a way to leverage the player relationship with the fans at the game, but not have direct interaction, but give them something fun new to do, collect the email address and start building upon it. So I think as people get more creative out there, as we continue with the situation, AR on a mobile phone is going to be a key opportunity for digital engagement for sports teams, for events, for brands, for products, for education. I mean, it's limitless, and I think it's going to continue to grow exponentially as we go forward today.
So yeah, so it seems like your timing is it's pretty good right here because.
It's unexpected.
It's unexpected,
right.
and
it's very unfortunate. Right. And we've been working on this for 3 years, and we started to see a turn. As a matter of fact, Jack, in the last few months, we started to see inbound calls coming in from major organizations, from groups that really started to say, you know what, we hear about AR, we want to do something about it. As a matter of fact, we just spoke to an NBA team recently. A prospect reached out. Their interesting approach is they had a lot of the analysts who work with the player saying we want to use AR as a way to teach the player certain game plays, where they need to be to defend against baskets. It was a pretty unique conversation, leveraging AR for plays and actually on the court rather than from the fan engagement side. So a lot of organizations are really starting to look at it. They hear about it. They know in today's generation, everything is mobile based. Everyone's on their phone, and how best to leverage that to get that kind of return, whether it's improve a player's positioning on court, whether it's fan engagement in the arena or at home as well. So again, that's what we're targeting. but also we're getting calls from new organizations and new markets we never expected previously.
Yeah, so I think this, this coronavirus really could really push adoption, mass consumer adoption, and especially business. Really, your focus is on the business side, the enterprise side. So
Business and ultimately it'll drive the consumer.
as people get into this
Correct.
market, then they'll have the app on their phone, so it'll be pretty sticky, it seems.
Right. And it's not just our app, Jack, right? We plug into any existing mobile app. So if a company has their existing mobile app, there's approximately 3 million mobile apps in iOS, I think 3 to 4 million in Google. We can plug into mobile apps, and that's the key. So they can drive engagement on their mobile apps, build out their community, and drive their brand. And that's key to them at this point, right? The differentiator. How do I get out there? How do I stand out in these times? And as we continue to come out the other side, where do I build upon? So AR becomes a foundational opportunity, and we are open to proof of concepts and working with organizations to try new things because we've already built the platform. We're out commercializing that. We're focused on driving revenue and opportunities and deals today as we continue forward.
So Alan, so you mentioned a few of your customers. Like, can you give our audience sort of an overview of like some of the industries you're in, some of your customers, to kind of give an idea of the level that the Imagination
Sure.
Park is operating at.
Right. So recently, again, we did an event. So the Milwaukee Auto Show, they did an AR scavenger hunt. The Houston SaberCats is a rugby team, which I didn't even know existed. We actually had it recently announced. We had the Cincinnati Reds AAA team. And then the president of the Houston SaberCats reached out to us in 24 hours, saw the article, and said, I want what they want because I want to do fan engagement. I want to do some fun, cool things with our sponsorship also to drive additional revenue. So it started to prevail through these sports to try and get customer engagement. We did some things with AT&T last year, but we're seeing some new things coming along. You'll see some new announcements. We work with the Basketball Hall of Fame. They have a new mint coin coming up in the U.S. Mint this spring. So we actually worked with them with some famous legends such as Dominique Wilkins, Rick Barry, Nancy Lieberman, and help leverage AR in a way to promote their new coin program with the U.S. Mint as well. So each one comes, each opportunity comes with a new use, a new application. And as long as we keep building out the platform, we're finding unique, creative ways that our clients and customers and even prospects are bringing up to leverage this in the market. And we listen to them, and we want to hear what they have to say. And as we build out, start adding these additional feature function capabilities. And we have a great group of stockholders that are very loyal and love what we do and actually get some great suggestions, and even got a number of leads from them as well. So it's wonderful to have some awesome stockholders who've been with us through the years as we built out this market, thinking of new opportunities, bringing us to leads and prospects, but also coming up with new features and functions as we continue. So we're hoping and expecting major revenue growth this coming year, certainly. And hopefully AR does begin to take hold in these areas and helps in situations like this, which is very devastating and very sad, but becomes a tool to allow people to continue to build out their businesses, which obviously are going to be greatly impacted by what's going on in today's market.
Okay, and Al, how does the business model work? Like, what are the price points that you're at, the recurring revenues?
Right. So again, and that's a good point on recurring revenue. So we set up 4 different products so we can service all different levels of business opportunities. We have our website, the Imagineer.com website, the lowest cost available. Any small business, even a proprietorship of a single person, they can go on there with a credit card and create their own AR activation instantly in 2 minutes. They don't need to know how to program. They don't need any technical background. It's sort of like using Instagram or Facebook, but create an AR activation anywhere in the world in 60 seconds. Simple, easy, starts at $10, extraordinarily affordable way for companies, businesses, small business to do proof of concept. The second way is what's called the SDK. The SDK is called the Software Developer Kit. That plugs right into any existing mobile app. We're very confident and optimistic of this product going forward, that this will be one of our significant revenue opportunities as we go forward, where companies or brands that have their own mobile app and are looking for a new reason for people to download the app, engage the app, and build out that audience. And the list price of that is $75,000 US per annum. We also have an enterprise SaaS model. That means a monthly billable revenue opportunity where you can use the Imagineer mobile app, so you don't have to pay for your own app. You can use ours. It's out in the mobile app stores today in both iOS and Android. And you can run an unlimited amount of AR activations as you see fit. That starts approximately around $3,500 a month. And lastly, we also do white label branding. You could take the Imagineer mobile app, say it's a large brand, a large campaign's coming out, and they want to run it for a limited period of time, a large consumer brand. They would have the ability to take our actual app, rebrand the whole thing with their branding, with their colors, with everything else they want in it, and then utilize that as well for a specific period of time. And that starts at around $80,000 per year USD, US dollars, as an annual license. And we also recently added a new area of services where there are certain brand opportunities that want a no app AR interface, which means I don't want anyone to load an app on a phone. We want the ability to use the camera to engage AR. So by pointing your camera at an image or a QR code to activate an AR experience. And we do that type of services as well. So we offer the full gamut, everything from start to finish. And we have that ability to define what's the best objective and what they want to achieve a customer, what's their ROI, and then look at our product portfolio and work with them to build that future relationship. So they're not looking to say which one or the cost issue. We offer everything start to finish. But as I said previously, we still feel very optimistically that the SDK ability to plug into brands, it's all native mode. It's a completely new product for us that is rolled out. It's very high performance. I don't think another company has built what we built into it with the authoring tools, and that's what we're going to be focusing on as we go forward in 2020 and beyond.
Okay, and Alen, now obviously, there's we're kind of in a dynamic world economic situation, and there's growing interest in the AR space. But with that aside, like what are your plans for 2020? What are some of the key milestones that investors can look forward to?
Well, I think the key milestones for any investor is always going to be driving revenue, right? You got to get the deals done. You got to get them over the finish line and keep building upon the revenue. I think also the announcements with key client opportunities, potentially, whether it's proof of concepts or other relationships, to build that groundwork as we go forward. As you know, Jack, we just completed a fundraiser of 1.5 million Canadian. It was oversubscribed as well, which we were happy with, that there was that amount of interest.
But positive validation.
It becomes a good validation of the model and confidence in the model that we've built in the future of AR that's going out in the marketplace. So, and certainly in today's environment, we had closed it one day before the first hit to the stock market as well. So our timing actually happened to be lucky at that point as well, that it was done the day before. But it also allows us to seed the market in certain areas. We want to build a big social media campaign tied to our Imagineer.com website to really get it out there to small businesses, professional service companies to leverage it. So we're going to use this to really help seed and build out the market to start getting that revenue. And I think you'll start seeing more announcements. You'll see some of these, whether it's proof of concept, strategic relationships, start building out these reseller network. We have a number of resellers we're working with, and we want to expand that in targeted markets who already have clients and those relationships that we can build upon. And we're starting to see some positive opportunities come out of that as well, certainly in the last 30 days.
Now, Alen, we're going to have you back for a follow-up presentation at the next Superstock live stream in a few weeks. But in the meanwhile, can you kind of share with investors, like in your opinion, this is usually our last question for these interviews. In your opinion, what are the top 3 reasons why investors should consider Imagination Park stock today?
Sure. And the first one is we feel very strongly we're significantly undervalued in the market. We've invested an enormous amount in a technology platform that's up and running today. The AR marketplace is exponentially growing. You're seeing significant commitments to AR by Apple, Google, Facebook, Snapchat, Sony, Microsoft. They're spending hundreds of millions of dollars each per year to build that AR. Tim Cook was just recently quoted about a month ago at a European conference. AR is the next big thing. Well, we have a platform, we have a product, we're significantly undervalued, certainly affordable for most investors to go out there and participate in what we believe is the only pure play AR market opportunity out there today. Certainly, if we were in the United States, we wouldn't be a public company. We'd probably be a privately held company with VCs with a significantly higher valuation as compared to what we're valued in the public market. So I think at the end of the day, if you believe that the future, as the market shifts to augmented reality, virtual reality, remote workers, and engaging people through mobile phones and building out that mobile network, then Imagination Park is well positioned with established credibility. Currently is a Microsoft co-sell partner, by the way. Microsoft co-sells us to their clients, their enterprise clients in North America. So we're established. We have a platform that's up and running. We have use cases, and we see 2020 as the beginning year, really the startup where this is going to start to take hold and grow significantly, as been referenced by quite a number of analyst companies out there for the next 3 to 5 years.
Okay, excellent. Alen, I want to thank you, and anybody that's watching this, please save up your questions for the presentation in a few weeks. That's always one of the best parts of our live stream events. It's that audience interaction. Alen, we'll see you probably towards the end of March is going to be our next event. Thank you again.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you for the time, and everyone stay safe, travel well, and wishing everyone the best.
Thank you.